What is up, everyone? Welcome to the very first episode of the Bunsa's Bucket List podcast, the show that will bring you all things basketball. I am one of your hosts, Shea and O'Reilly, and with me, I have my awesome big brother co-host. How's it going, Cal?
I'm doing excellent, Shay. Thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm happy I'm finally be starting this podcast. So before we dive into this episode, on which we both want to talk a little bit about the show itself and kind of why we're doing it. Let's just take a quick moment and kind of introduce ourselves a little bit to the audience. Cal, why don't you kick things off and tell us a little bit about you and what you have been up to?
Well, to start, I'm the middle child of 5 very athletic and competitive siblings. Abby, our oldest sister, played soccer and ran track growing up. She's currently a nurse in Michigan, has a almost 1-year-old daughter up there with our brother-in-law, Dustin. Connor, who's next in line, he played basketball, went on to become a professional disc golfer. He's now on his 3rd year touring the country and finished last season ranked top 50 in the world. Liam, who's my Irish twin, played 2 years of junior college basketball in Dallas and then went on to play 2 years of Division I basketball at Gardner-Webb University in North Carolina. He's now on his 5th year playing professionally overseas and is currently competing in the playoffs with his team in Hungary. I also played basketball myself up until about college. I've been coaching for the past 4 years or so. Right now I have a 6th grade boys select team that I'm coaching at the athletic facility where I help manage, and that takes up most of my time. But last but not least, we have Mr. Shea over here, the baby of the group. He also played basketball through high school and helps me out coaching my team nowadays. Shea, what have you been up to?
I've been helping coach Cal's 6th grade national team and working at the facilities on the weekends when I'm not coaching. I've also been watching lots of playoff basketball and working on my game. I play pickup 3 times a week at the facility we work at and work out on the other days. So for our main topic of this episode, we want to talk about some of our predictions for the NBA playoffs and MVP awards.
So first up, we're going to go over the games that are going to be played tonight. Today is Wednesday, April 19th. So by the time this gets posted, it may be closer to Friday. So some of these games have already passed. But first up, we got Bucks versus Heat coming up tonight. Heat is up 1-0 in the series. Game 2 tonight's going to be in Milwaukee. Giannis is game time decision with his lower back contusion, and Tyler Hero is out with his hand. Shay, who do you have winning this series? Bucks or Heat?
As much as I love the Heat, I probably want to go for the Bucks in this series because I know Giannis is out, but hey, you have Brook Lopez and Drew Holiday, right?
So Shay's got the Bucks in this matchup. If to me, it all depends on Giannis. If Giannis plays, I think it's a Bucks series. But if Giannis is out, you can't put anything past playoff Jimmy. So I might have to go with the Heat if Giannis is out on this one. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. All right. Next up, we got Lakers Grizzlies tonight. Lakers are up 1-0 in the series. Game 2 tonight will be in Memphis. John Morant is a game time decision with his hand injury. Shay, who do you have in this series?
I'm probably going to go with the Lakers in this series just because, it's playoff LeBron. We all know what he can do in the playoffs. And what Anthony Davis can do, that's going to help a lot. And we have the shooters on the Lakers now. So I'm going to go with them.
All right, Shay's got Lakers. I may have to agree with him on this one. Although Grizzlies are super exciting to watch, got a good young athletic team. If Ja is out, I think that's going to hurt them. Quite frankly, even if he's in, I think LeBron is hard to bet against in the playoffs. So that one will be interesting to see. Next up, the last one for tonight, we have Timberwolves versus Nuggets. Denver's up 1-0 in this series. Game 2 tonight's going to be at home in Denver. Jokic is game time decision with a wrist injury. I have a feeling he'll be playing. It was also game time decision in the first game, I believe, with a calf injury, but he ended up playing. Shea, who do you got in this one? Timberwolves or Nuggets?
I do like the Timberwolves, but I mean, you gotta love Bruce Brown and what he's been doing. So I am kind of aiming for Denver only because it's their home court, and it is a game time decision on Jokic.
Once again, I'm going to have to agree with Shea. I think the Nuggets are going to pull this one out. Timberwolves may grab a couple of them, but I don't see this going past 6. I think Nuggets are going to get it. And then the rest of the games won't be played tonight, but the other games will be for the round 1. We have Celtics versus Hawks. Celtics up 2-0. They got a good jump on the Hawks. Game 3 is going to be in Atlanta, I believe. Shea, who do you got in that series?
I mean, it's hard to bet against the Hawks, but when you have two superstar forwards as Tatum and Brown are, it's hard not to go against the Celtics. So I may have to go with the Celtics only because it's playoff Jason Tatum and playoff Jaylen Brown. So.
And I'm gonna have to piggyback off of that. I think the Celtics are gonna pull it out. I just don't think the Hawks have enough in them to get this series going their direction. So I think Celtics are gonna pull it off. I'll be surprised if the Hawks get more than one game. Next up, we got Cavaliers versus Knicks. Had an exciting one last night. Tied 1-1. Game 3 gonna be back in New York. Shea, who do you have for this one?
I mean, it's just way too hard not to count out the Sixers because you have, the two-time MVP.
Knicks. We're going Knicks Cavs.
You have Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, and for me, it's watching them play. It's awesome to watch. It's fun, so I'm gonna go with them.
You're going with the Cavs. I think I'm going to piggyback off that. I'm also going to go with the Cavs in this one. I know they're a younger team. The Knicks, I love Jalen Brunson. He's an amazing player. They got some talent on that team, but I just don't see them playing enough as a team. With all due respect to Julius Randle, I think he's one of the most talented players in the league, but he may have one of the worst IQs in the league as well. That may be a hot take, but if you watch him, he plays lots of bully ball, doesn't get to 2 feet a lot, and makes poor decisions when that double teams come. So I think the Cavs are going to pull it away. I think they got a good team, and they play well together. All right, last couple. We got 76ers versus Nets. Sixers got a 2-0 lead. Game 3 going back to Brooklyn. Shea, what you got?
I love what Mikal Bridges has been doing for the Nets all season long. I just think that because you have a Joel and Harden, it's just going to be so hard to beat. So, kind of going for Sixers on that one.
Yep, I think Shea hit it right on the head. Joel, the way he's been playing, he's going to be tough to beat, especially they got Tyrese Maxey and James Harden playing really well right now. I just don't think the Nets have enough firepower in this one. So I got to go with the 76ers. Suns versus Clippers. This is turning out to be a really great series. Tied 1-1. We're going to LA for game 3. Shea, who you got? Suns or Clippers?
It's hard to choose between the Suns and Clippers, but I know you have KD on one team and you have Kawhi on the other team. I'll probably go with Suns on this one.
Shea's leaning Suns. This is a tough one for me. I think it's a toss-up. I think this could be a 7-game series here. I think it's going all the way to 7. If CP3 is playing like he did last night in Game 2, and they're gelling, attacking that drop coverage in the post or the pick and roll like they were last night, I think the Suns are going to be tough to beat. So Clippers are going to have to make some adjustments on that drop coverage and figure out what they're doing for the pick and roll. If they do, I think the Clippers pull it out. But my gut says Suns. I'm going to have to go Suns in 7. And the last but not least, Shea's favorite team. We got the Warriors versus the Kings. Warriors down big, 0-2 to the Kings. First time making playoffs in over a decade. That fan base is jumping right now. Game 3 back in Oakland. Shea, who you got?
In all respect to the Kings, I love what they've been doing this whole season. But as a Warrior fan, I'm going to go with my Warriors because best home record, and I just know they're going to come out firing. Now Curry, Clay are going to come out. JP is going to come out. And we're going to, I know Draymond's out, but I mean, that's why we have GB2 back, right? And Andrew Wiggins.
So Shea's got the Warriors. Me and him have been going back and forth on this one. It's as hard as it is for me to bet against the Warriors in the playoffs. You got healthy Steph, healthy Clay. Andrew Wiggins is back, finding his niche. I got to go with the Kings. This young team is hungry. They're playing well. That fan base is absolutely behind them, and they're trying to light the beam, man. They're trying to get these W's. So I got to go with the Kings. I think the Warriors may get a couple at home, but I just don't think they'll be able to get one away. They've been so bad on the way this whole season. So we'll see how that turns out.
We will see.
All right, next up, we want to take a little bit of time to talk about the MVP race and who we like the best for our Kia MVP award. So first, we're going to go through all 3 of the top contenders, and I'll kind of give you some stats on them. And then, Shea, I'm going to ask you who your favorite is, okay? First, we have Joel Embiid, who averaged 33.1 points a game on 54.8% field goal percentage, 33% from three-point, 85% from the free throw. He averaged 10.2 rebounds a game, 4.2 assists, and 1 steal and 1.7 blocks, almost 2 blocks in his 66 games played this year. Next up, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, averaged 31.1 points a game on 55.3% field goal percentage, 27.5 from the three-point, 64.5 from free throw, something he needs to continue to work on. 11.8 rebounds a game, 5.7 assists, just under a steal and just under a block in his 63 games that he played this season. And last up, we got Nikola Jokic, the Joker, averaging 24.5 on 63.2% field goal percentage, which is crazy efficient. 38.3% from the three-point and 82 from the free throw. Again, super efficient for a big man. He's doing something that we haven't seen in the past. 11.8 rebounds a game and almost 10 assists a game. 1.3 steals and just under a block. He played 69 games this season. He may be a favorite for some. Shea, who you have?
As the respect I have for Giannis and Jokic, this is hard not to go against Embiid on this one. I mean, he is 2 points higher than Giannis as of right now, so I'm going to go with Joel. He's been just a monster on the court, and he's been doing really great on defense, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Joel on this one.
So Shea's got Joel. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I wouldn't know who to bet on this one. This is a tough one. I think it's a toss-up, as all MVP awards are. You know how they just kind of give them out to who's the favorite player of the year. But I have to go with Nikola Jokic. What he's doing is so impressive. To be a big man, shooting 64% from the field goal, almost 40 from three, averaging 12 rebounds and 10 assists as well. He just makes everybody on his team better. He's fun to watch. He's got great vision. The best thing to me about him is he's not the most athletic guy, but he's just going to kill you with his IQ and his footwork, and he just keeps it simple and makes good basketball plays. So I got to go with the Joker on this. All right, just to recap what we discussed in the first episode, we talked about the current playoff standings and what our first round predictions were. And then we also dove into the MVP race and chose our winners for the 2023 Kia MVP Award. Shea chose who? Shea chose Joel Embiid, and I chose Jokic. So we will see who is the winner of that one coming up soon.
Well, that's it for today's episode of the Bunsa's Bucket List podcast. Thanks for listening. Thank you to Callaghan for joining me today and sharing his thoughts on the NBA playoffs and MVP race. Thanks again for joining me and tune in for next week for episode 2.
That's it, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. Check out our YouTube page at Bunsa's Bucket List for more content. Thanks, and see y'all next week.
See ya.